Okay, so the last piece of this unit is we're going to talk about isosceles triangles. So let's recall the isosceles triangle that we learned in Unit 1. So remember, an isosceles triangle is a triangle that has two congruent sides and two congruent angles. And so what we learned back in Unit 1 is that if we know that two sides are congruent in a triangle, then we know that the sides opposite them, the angles opposite them are also congruent. And this is true the other way as well. So what we learned was that in a triangle, angles opposite congruent sides are congruent. And the converse was also true. In a triangle, sides opposite congruent angles are congruent. Okay, so if you know that you've got two congruent angles, then you know that the sides opposite them are congruent. If you know that you've got two congruent sides, then the angles opposite them are congruent. Okay, so how do we use this in a proof? So here we're told that triangle ABC is isosceles, and you're told that BA is congruent to BC. So remember, we mark that in this fashion right here. And we're told that ED is congruent to FD. And we're told that angle AED is congruent to angle CFD. And we want to prove that triangle AED is congruent to triangle CFD. That's the two smaller triangles. So using isosceles triangle, I can say that if triangle ABC is isosceles and I know that BA is congruent to BC, then that means that the angles opposite them are also congruent. So that means that this angle has to be congruent to this angle, and that's the isosceles triangle theorem. So here would be our plan here. We would use isosceles triangle to get angle EAD and angle FCD. We have given sides. We've got given angles. And so I can prove that the triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side. Okay, so let's see this in action in a proof. You're going to notice that I'm not going to use, I'm going to avoid the word isosceles because it's not necessary. So let me show you what I mean by that. The given says that triangle ABC is isosceles. I don't actually need that information. What I need is I need that BA is congruent to BC. That's the important part. And now I'm not going to use the word isosceles because if you use the word isosceles, then that means you have to have said that the triangle is isosceles, and that's not necessary. Instead, you can just say that the sides are congruent, and then you can say what we wrote above. In a triangle, angles opposite congruent sides are congruent. And so the conclusion here would be angle EAD is congruent to angle FCD. Okay, and then you would proceed from there. I don't know if you necessarily need to see all that. You're going to have your given sides, you're going to have your given angles, and then you're going to have that triangle AED is congruent to triangle CFD by angle, angle, side. I don't think I need to write all that down. I think you can take it from there. This is the important part right here. That's what we really need to know. Okay, notice I do not use the word isosceles. I think that just complicates things. Okay, so just like if you know a triangle is isosceles and you want to pull from that congruent sides or congruent angles, you also want to be able to look at a triangle and prove that it is an isosceles triangle. And you would do that by proving it has two congruent sides or two congruent angles. You don't need to do both, and you shouldn't do both. two congruent sides or two congruent angles. Okay, so we have DE congruent to DF. There's a typo here. This should say angle ADE is congruent to angle BDF. So that's this angle right here and this angle right here. And then we have that angle CED is congruent to angle CFD. Now I'm not going to actually write up this proof. I'll tell you how to do the last step. But what I really want to show you here is what could we do from here? Well, I've got a pair of angles and a pair of sides, and then I have a pair of angles that are not within these two triangles. But if I did the linear pair cycle, which you know how to do, I could get that this angle is congruent to this angle right here. So we would have a linear pair cycle. This would be my plan. I'd have a linear pair cycle. And then I would put the given sides. I would put the given angles. Now, by doing that, I can actually prove that triangle AED is congruent to triangle BFD. Okay, so that's these two triangles right here. I can prove that they're congruent by angle side angle. Then I can say, okay, well, by CPCTC, I can say that this angle right here is congruent to this angle right here. And so that will allow me in this very last step to say that triangle ACB is isosceles. Okay, so now I'm not going to write up that entire proof, or actually, you know what, I will, but I'm going to pause the video and write it up so that you don't have to. Why don't you pause the video too, see if you can write up until we get down to this last cycle right here. Let's see if we can get that all written up. Okay, so let's pick it back up again. So here's my entire proof. I've got it all written up. I have my linear pair cycle right here, my given sides, my given angles. That allows me to prove that triangle AED is congruent to triangle BFD by angle side angle. And then by CPCTC, I said that angle EAD is congruent to angle FBD. Now, if you look at triangle ACB, it is isosceles because it has two congruent angles. So here's how I would write that up. Step 8. If triangle with two congruent angles, then isosceles. And if you had proven sides, you would have said two congruent sides. Conclusion, triangle ACB is isosceles. And that's how you do it. So you don't have to prove two congruent sides and two congruent angles. You have to prove one or the other. And that's how you do it.